Back. I had a 2-week hiatus, okay? 2 weeks off. All right, I went to Vegas. I nearly died from no sleep, right? Then I come back, and the very next day, and then the very next week, my wife's sick. You want me to record a podcast while my wife is sick? Is that what you want to do? And you're probably noticing my voice right now. You're like, oh, Pierce, you sound sick. No, it's because I was yelling about the Duke game at a freaking house party where they didn't turn the game on until the second half, okay? What do you want me to do? Also, you're probably like, oh, Pierce, why are you standing like a crazy person? And why is everything changed behind you? It's because, hold on. I'm going to put the mic. This is going to be professional. Check this out. I built this desk, and it moves up and down. Listen to this. Hold on. I don't know if you're picking that up. Moving desk. That's right. I built this baby. So I'm going to be standing now. I'm a standing guy for the podcast. I'm going to be walking around and stuff, man. It's going to be sweet. All right. And I got some new artwork up. I got, look at that. How sick is that? Look at this. I don't want to take it down, but it's a picture of Comerica Park. And then I got a picture of Lincoln, Nebraska, where I graduated. All right. New me. New me. After 2 weeks, new me. Let's get to it. And also, speaking about a new me, we're gonna try to change up the order of this podcast a little bit. Okay, it's gonna be a little different. All right, I'm gonna start talking about Detroit sports to start it off, and then talk about I'm gonna talk about the Tigers, and I'm gonna give predictions on the MLB season, and then at the end I'll talk about Final Four, Masters this week, other stuff like that. And the European Minute will be still in the middle of the podcast, but we have to talk about the Detroit Tigers. Opening day is this week, April 7th, right? Getting excited. How are you not excited? I understand. Okay, I get it. Riley Green hurt his foot. Not doing great. Fractured his foot. I'm no expert. I'm not a foot guy. But let me tell you something. Fractured foot is bad. And don't tweet at me. Don't tweet at me. Oh, well, he doesn't have to have surgery, so it's not going to be that bad. Wrong. It's a fractured foot. Fractured means broken. Foot, very, very needed. Very needed. It's not good. But Torkelson looks great. And I know everybody's read this report, read the story about when Miguel Cabrera, Hinch, and Torkelson are in the room together, and Miguel hands Torkelson the torch, his own glove. It was so cool, and everybody's crying. Shoot, I was crying. I'm crying. You're crying. We're all crying. If we can get the production from Torkelson that we got from Cabrera, hell yeah, that's a hell of a torch-bearing gift. Torkelson's the future, and he looks great. He's beautiful. The reason why we bought this house, by the way, I'll tweet out a picture of this, is because there's a Torkelson Arizona State baseball poster in the garage that came with the house. I love Torkelson. I think his future is so bright. He looks so good. The future of the Detroit Tigers is great as long as the pitching and Torkelson and Riley Green build it. But what's my prediction for this year for the Tigers? I've seen the trendy. I've seen a lot of the hot take guys go, oh, more wild card spots. Maybe the Tigers can get that wild card spot. I've seen that. Okay, and there is a part of me that sees it. If Rodriguez has a good season, if Baez has a great season, which is very possible, has an MVP-like season and hits the ball and doesn't strike out all year, Torkelson has a Rookie of the Year kind of year. Casey Mize takes the next step. Skubal takes the next step. Manning becomes a good pitcher. Rodriguez has a great year. The bullpen with Chafin being signed and the bullpen being great. If they put all of that together, yes, I think they have. I would put it at like a 5%. No, that's a little high. No, screw it. The Tigers have like a 5% chance of making the playoffs. But a realistic expectation for us should be 500 baseball. If we are playing 500 baseball and we end the season with 82 wins, count it as a victory. Count it as a good year. I would take it right now. Now I'm going to be drinking water because I'm walking around all the time. I don't know. I've seen it. I've seen the dark horse pick. I just think we're a 500 baseball team, and I have to stay realistic. But I like this team a lot. I think that we're building towards something great. I think we have a lot of pieces coming. I think a key that we're not going to see is if Faedo has a good year in AAA, if Wentz has a good year in AAA, and they can become There are two starting pitchers in AAA right now. If they could have a good year and maybe come up to the major leagues, that'd be great. I think if we could have Daniel Cabrera, draft pick that we had 2 years ago from LSU, if he could come up and he can play well in the minors and he can be a good corner outfielder in the next year, because that's what we're kind of missing is a good corner outfielder next year because Robbie Grossman's contract's up. Those are other keys that need to happen this year. We need Cody Clemens in the trip to make it up to Toledo and him have a good year. We need a lot of key pieces coming up to have good years as well, not just on the major league side. If you want to build towards a World Series, because you're not winning the World Series this year, but you can in the next coming years. And in order to do that, we have to have good production from those guys too this year. They need to have coming out years in Toledo. I might go to Toledo this year. I might do that. I might take a trip that would be a ton of fun. Also, I'm here in Arizona. I bought my tickets, all 3 Detroit Tigers games. More information coming out. We should all just hang out. You guys all fly out here. We all go watch the Tigers against Arizona Diamondbacks. That could possibly be a sweep. We could sweep that series. I will be there for all 3 games. I have the tickets. I'm ready to go. But for the MLB season, here are my predictions. I like, out of the AL West, I like the Astros. Out of the AL Central, I like the Chicago White Sox. I don't understand what the Twins are doing with signing Carlos Correa. I think he's going to be a good trade piece, in my opinion. AL East, I love the Toronto Blue Jays. I just think they've built this so well. And if you look at how the next 3 years, they're just going to be so good. The 3 wild card spots, because we expanded playoffs this year, I've got the Seattle Mariners making it. I think they're sneaky, and I think they're in an easier division. I think they can sneak in the wild card, and then I got the Yankees and the Rays making the playoffs in the wild card. In the NL, I've got the Mets winning the East. I just think their pitching is good. I understand that they're hurt right now. No DeGrom, no Scherzer, but I just think that they are going to figure it out, and I think that the Braves, it's hard. It's hard after you win. Then in the Central, I like the Cardinals this year. I really do. I like the Cardinals this year a lot. I got them winning the NL Central, and then I got the freaking Dodgers winning the NL West. Then the 3 wild card spots, I got the Brewers, Giants, and Padres. I think that once Tatis comes back middle of the year, I think he'll really start producing. I think the Padres make it out. Then for the World Series, give me Cardinals and Blue Jays. Give me Cardinals and Blue Jays. There is a part of me that's saying the Cardinals because I'm a gambler and I know that their odds are very, very good and they're in an easier division. I like the Cardinals. Anything can happen. And then give me the Blue Jays winning the whole thing, though. I think the Blue Jays have it all. I think getting Chapman, I think even before Chapman, they had a lot of great pieces, but I think they're so young and I think I think they've got good enough pitching to make it. And I think they can hit. And I think they can just hit the snot out of the ball. And the cover off the ball. Jeez, that was bad. I think they can hit the cover off the ball, and I think that they can pitch very well. So that's my prediction. I got the Blue Jays winning the whole thing. All right, switch of topics. I'm going to the Detroit Lions. Big week last week. We get Hard Knocks, and we're going to start we're going to host the draft in 2024. Whatever. We're going to host the draft, and we get Hard Knocks. Everything's coming up Detroit. Everything's coming up Lions. I love it. I really do. And we signed DJ Chark, which is not like the most amazing thing in the world, but I think that really helps next year building for a roster. Which leads me to the next point. Who do I want us to draft in the first round? With the second pick, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. All you Michigan fans are going to be like, oh, well, Pierce, Aiden Hutchinson should have won the Heisman, so we should draft him. False. I read a report, and I got convinced out of this. If we draft him, I'll be okay. I'll be fine. But he's just not my top choice. I just don't want to pick a quarterback, all right? But when I say this, I don't want Hutchinson because I read a report that he had short arms. That's it. That's all I read, and I was like, oh, yep, don't want him. So the 2 picks that I would love, Thibodeau. I understand he's injury prone. I get it, but I think he's the most talented person. I think he's one of the most talented players in this draft. In the second pick, I want Kyle Hamilton. This is a game where you got to have a dynamic safety who can do it all. That changes your whole entire defense. If you have a dynamic safety, it changes it all. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. When they have Honey Badger out there, he looks good. But when you have Sorensen out there and he looks terrible, it exposes your whole entire defense. I think Kyle Hamilton is so great, so athletically gifted that it would be hard for me to pass up. But if they pick an offensive lineman, okay. If they pick Hutchinson, okay. The one thing I do not want them to do is pick quarterback. I understand. I'm starting to fall in love with Malik. I'm starting to fall in love with him. But just don't. I think when you're building this out, I think you have you're in such a good spot to build out a great roster for a next year quarterback like CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Just build a perfect roster and then get the quarterback. That's how you win the Super Bowl. Okay? Then for the last pick, for the last pick of the first round, I like Klein, the safety out of Georgia. Obviously, if you don't pick Kyle Hamilton, I would like Klein there. I like Christian Harris, the linebacker out of Alabama. I really think he's talented. And then I think in this draft, I think the Packers and the Chiefs did such good business trading Hill and Adams because of this one fact. There are like 50 wide receivers in this draft that are just so dynamic and so versatile that it's the best wide receiver class I've seen in a long time. So I think if you pick Pickens, Mechie, Dotson, I would take that. I think you've got, in the later draft, you've got a guy by the name of Wan'Dale Robinson, who's a lot like the Cardinals got Rondale Moore. He's going to be in the third round or a late second round pick, and he's going to be great. I just think that you've got so many dynamic wide receivers in this draft that you got to get one. You got to get one if you're going to build that great roster. Also, there is a part of me, when it comes to the NFL, I have an admission to make. I kind of want Baker Mayfield. There, I said it. I kind of want Baker Mayfield. I do. I think he would be. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I don't think you can win a Super Bowl with him. But like Gardner Minshew, he definitely could win us 10 games next year. He really could. I don't think he can win a Super Bowl. It's not what I'm saying. But I think with our schedule next year, if we were to get him for a 5th round pick, I think he can win us 10 games. Just saying. All right, let's do European Minute. All right, my favorite segment. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch F1 in soccer. Okay, I need to have it out here. I need to have it in the world that I watch it. Okay, so starting in 3, 2, 1. European Minute. All right, Chelsea lost to Brentford. I'm not saying anything else. That's all I'm going to say about Chelsea. Okay, and Chelsea's selling their club. I get it. A lot of people don't want the Ricketts. I don't know what you want me to say about that. Okay, F1 is back. F1's great. If you're going to like F1, get into it now. It's been electric. Ferrari's obviously got the best engine. I love seeing Mercedes suck, and I love seeing Red Bull being great. I think this is going to be one of the best seasons ever, just like last year, but completely different because I think the teams are also going to be close. If I were to become a fan, if you don't have a driver yet, I'd be a Charles Leclerc fan and I'd be a Ferrari fan because I think you're going to have a great life. This week in Australia, late night racing. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be midnight Central, so 1 o'clock Eastern. I think Checo's going to win, and purely on the fact because I have him on my fantasy team, I love Checo. And that has been your European Minute. Also, Champions League is this week. I snuck it in. What do you want? I snuck it in. All right, Pistons. They're clearly the best, worst team in the NBA. And they're in this really interesting spot because they are tied for that third, fourth spot, which is the biggest spot because if you're fourth, you don't get the best odds to get the first pick. So there's this part of me that I'm like, all right, Sadiq Bey scoring a lot of points. That's cool. That's great. Killian Hayes gets 20-plus points. That's fantastic. Oh, could you guys not do that? Could you guys just lose? That'd be fantastic because Banchero, Smith, and Ivy are really good. There is a part of me that wants them just to lose. I'm sorry. I have to admit it. I don't know if the whispering thing came in clear enough. But I'm watching the Duke game. Banchero is the best player on the floor. They just had a bad coach. I'm watching Jaden Ivey. He's the best player on the floor. Just has a bad coach. And people are like, oh, well, Jaden Ivey can't dribble. He can shoot. And I'm watching Jabari Smith from Auburn all year long. He's got a terrible coach. But damn, he's 6'10", and he flies around the court. He can shoot. He looks amazing. I'm telling you, I want one of those three. And if you say Chet Holmgren, I will come after you. No way. Do not give me Chet. And I guarantee you what's going to happen is that the Pistons are going to get the fourth pick, and we're going to freaking get Chet, and I'm going to get memed to death, and I'm going to hate my life. I'm going to freaking hate my life. But look, think about it. If you got Banchero, Smith, or Ivy, along with Hayes and Bay and Cade Cunningham, sign me up for that team. That team's going to be great. That's a great little team. That's going to win a playoff series. That's a conference finals. I think that at least gets you a conference finals 1 year. Really do. And speaking about building for a great team, I don't know. Let's freeze water real quick and talk about our Red Wings. Mo and Raymond are the two favorites for the Rookie of the Year. Look, Detroit sports, this is the time to get in. This is the time. If you are looking for somebody to root for, Detroit it's time. We are ready. We've sucked the past couple of years, but guess what? We're coming back. It's so obvious, especially with the Red Wings. It's so obvious that Detroit's back. Mo and Raymond are going to be superstars. Edvinson, who we drafted last year, is going to be a superstar. I think Casa, while he is slipping up right now, doesn't look great. He's going to be great, especially with Nedeljkov. I mean, they're just Larkin's your captain. Bert's there for a long time. We've got so much cap space to mess with. We got a great draft pick coming up. This is the time to be a Red Wings fan. We're going to do we're so close. I mean, we're just so close. This year obviously isn't the year. We have got no defense. But if we invest into the defense with all that salary cap space and we're drafting great defense because Mo and Edvinson, I think Edvinson's going to come up and be electric. I think he's going to be great. I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I really am, especially for the Red Wings. All right, let's do national news. Final four thoughts. Everybody knows I had the Duke future. It was my last bet. I have 74 cents in my account now. That sucked. It sucked that Coach K's career ended with him just being a bad coach. I mean, he got outcoached, but he just got outcoached. And for me, I hate Bill Self. I grew up an Illinois fan, and he left Illinois and hurt me. And then I hate North Carolina because they beat me in the national championship when I was a little kid and made me cry. Probably one of the saddest nights ever. If Luther Head hits the three in the corner with 1:30 to go, maybe we win that game. And also, North Carolina cheated, and they never had to pay that back. They never got punished. They cheated though because their kids never took classes. Google that if you would like. Bruce Weber still hasn't cut his hair because of that, because they got hurt so bad. And whenever I see Roy Williams, I think cheater. But with all that being said, I think Kansas wins. No, I don't. I think North Carolina wins. I do. I think North Carolina wins. Caleb Love is just so good, and they're going to win the damn national championship. It's going to break my heart. It's just going to happen. It is. All right, and the Masters is this week. I should have put my Masters hat on. Oh, that was a slip. Masters is this week. I know that Scottie Scheffler is going to be the biggest pick because he's the number 1 player in the world and he's hot. But I'm going to pick somebody hotter, and I mean attractiveness. Give me Brooks Koepka. Give me Brooks. It's time. It's time for Brooks to win. He's perfect for it. He's perfect. Same with Dustin Johnson. Give me Brooks. I think Brooks wins. I love it. All right, final thoughts. I was at a party the other day. I was at a party yesterday. I alluded to it earlier. I was at a party yesterday. And, I just need to see if I'm a jerk or not. Okay? I do. I just want to see if I'm a jerk or not. We're at a party. Final Four is on, right? And, I'm cool with missing the end of the Kansas-Nova game. It was kind of a blowout. Nova didn't really have a chance. The Duke game is about to start. And the TV's not on, okay? We're at this party, and, everybody's mingling and mixing around. And I, the TV's off. And I went to the homeowner. It's not my house. And I go, hey, Duke, North Carolina is about to come on, And by the way, a little side story, I had another buddy at the house, and he's like, yo, we should talk to the homeowner and get the game on. You're right. I'm the one who goes up and gets the game on. Is that rude to go up to a homeowner and be like, hey, great party, but you know what would make this party better? Turning that TV on and watching basketball. I just want to know if I'm rude. That's all. That's all I want to know. All right. If I'm rude, I will apologize. I will apologize. But I don't know. It's just kind of a social anxiety problem right there. All right. I just don't know if I was rude there. And also to the people who are like, oh, is Pierce still watching LSU baseball? I feel like the damn coach in this jacket, man. I feel electric. Bought this for $30. I go down to the restaurant. People are like, "Are you a baseball coach?" Hell yeah. Yeah, I watched them lose to Auburn and I cried. But yeah, I'm gonna LSU guy still. I'm gonna go to the College World Series, and hopefully LSU's there with me. Thank you for watching the Detroit Pierce podcast. I appreciate you. I will be back next week. I'll be in Omaha, and then I've got. Coming up, I'm going to be in Omaha next week for a wedding, so I'm going to do it there. And then I might throw my dad on the podcast. I don't know. And then I'm going to throw my sister on the podcast, myself, and then my dad comes into town, and he will be here for the draft, so we'll have after-draft reaction, and then we'll have a podcast on Sunday as well. So thank you so much. God bless. Go Detroit Sports because we're coming back, baby. We're coming back.